Hey guys, welcome to Judge Jodi, Paxton Road's Premier League Play Rating show. We are back with a new Premier League season with a brand new manager and a brand new goalkeeper and a brand new centre back. Finally, guys, we've got lots of new things happening. So happy to be back. Finally, it's been a long time, but really great to be back with a brand new season. And who better to join me for episode 1? We've got Sean Tafosi. Tottenham Tafosi 61. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm feeling perfectly fine after watching yesterday's game. I had more joy in 45 minutes than I had in the whole of last season.
Yeah, it was a good one. What were your thoughts on the match? Because I know you weren't on the review show yesterday. So do you have anything kind of overall to say before we get into the ratings? High level.
We was possibly unlucky not to win. Certainly not many teams go to Brentford and have 70% possession. We have Bissouma, who we'll talk about later, no doubt, cooking and having ridiculous stats on his own, let alone the rest of the team. 4 debutants who all acquitted themselves in my view really well, and great. I mean, bring it on. It's going to be bumpy. As I was saying before, we think we could well get our backsides handed to ourselves against United next week, but we're in for the rebuild. We're moving to a new era in many ways. There's a new number 10 in town, so let's see how it goes, and let's see what you thought. Let's see what the viewers think as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, we'll get into we'll see what Man U have to say for themselves when they play a bit later tonight. We can talk about that a bit later. But I agree. I think some real positives that we'll definitely get into when we talk through the team. You've named quite a few of them there, so I think we'll get into those when we talk them through. But I think the majority of people can tell already that hopefully this season might be a better watch than what we've been used to in the past couple of seasons, regardless of the scoreline. I'm not saying that's not important. We want to win. We definitely want to win as much as we can. But I think with this new style of play and just this new positivity that we've got, getting rid of some of the players that we've been wanting to for some time now, bringing some new fresh blood in, new captain. How did I miss that one? New captain team. I think let's try and stay positive for as long as we can. It's going to be a long season, and I think let's see what happens. Before we get into it, Sean, do you have a favorite moment of the preseason transfer window era at all? Anything for you that kind of was exciting?
Bizarrely, it was actually it was our defeat in Barcelona, where I saw a second string Tottenham Hotspur really give a first string Barcelona a tough game for 70 to 80 minutes. And that made me feel very, very confident indeed that the season could be good.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them, obviously we conceded 3 goals late on in the last 9 minutes, but I think that's because they'd freshened up their team, and we were just using the players that we almost started the game with just to get the 90 minutes in their legs. So that was probably one of the highlights, even if it was a defeat. And obviously the arrival of James Maddison was always welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think preseason definitely showed some good snippets of what we hopefully might get to see during this season. I think for me, it was definitely the appointment of Ange Postecoglou as a fellow Australian. I'm very proud to have him leading the charge for Spurs. I think, I don't know. I just feel like I've seen Ange. I've been sort of seeing Ange for many years now, just with the Australian connection and having seen what he's done with the Australian team. And I think, also following him a little bit with Celtic, I think, you know what, I think we've got a good one, and let's just get behind the manager and see what he has to do. Also, I guess the new captain of Son, because everybody knows Son is my favorite player. But hey, that was it, I think, in terms of preseason. I think just before we get into the ratings as well, this is a new season. So just a little reminder that the views of Sean and I today are the views of this game and this game only. No bias allowed in this courtroom. I've been guilty of it many times, but I'm going to try and adhere to that rule this season and try and just stick to scoring the players on their performances of the day and not get stuck into patterns of the past. So if I do get into that, please just let me know. And before we get into it, guys, if you can please like and subscribe to Paxton Road TV, really appreciate it, and put your ratings in the chat, and we'll talk it out. Sean and I will get through all of your comments, and yeah, we want to know what you guys have to say about about the guys as well. All right, Sean, shall we do it? Let's see what we're going to say. We've got some new guys to talk about. Yeah, there's quite a lot actually, I think, to talk about this week. So what are we
Indeed, there
saying?
is.
What are we saying? So we've got new goalkeeper, Vicario. What are you saying about Vicario?
Um,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I thought
Eight.
I can't understand the online distrust of this goalkeeper. He did everything he could to that he was asked to do. He was he dealt with high balls. He dealt with shots. He could do nothing about the two goals. I mean, one of them being a penalty. He cleared his lines, and he kind of very much reminded me of, if people remember, Hugo when he first came into our team. The sort of scurrying out of his box and clearing the ball and playing sweeper keeper, which is what Ange wants him to do. He also followed Ange's instructions to the letter. He played risky passes out, but he played them out and he completed them. I mean, I just don't understand. He was competent. I was nervous for him because Brentford are a real set piece danger. But I mean, they didn't really threaten us from set pieces. It was their goals came from breakaways and so it's not down to him that the two goals were conceded. He did his job, and I think he stood up. Yeah. Fine by me.
Yeah, I think, and I think for it being his first game in the Premier League as well, coming in, I think I agree. I think he did a really, really great job for what he could do. I think I've marked him down slightly just because he did let a couple of goals in. I know you said that you didn't think there was anything he could do about them. Potentially, maybe he could have.
I mean, do you think so? I mean, a penalty, a penalty is
not the pen. Sorry, the second goal.
Yeah, but that was taken out of his hands by the fact he had the shot covered and Van de Ven deflected it past him. I mean, well, he can only dive and anticipate a shot coming, and then if a defender puts his leg in the way, then it's all bets are off, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a bit nerve-wracking when you have a new person in at goal, and I think a lot of us, and me talking about bias here, are probably a little bit scared of what's been happened. So we do have to give this guy a chance, like you say. Maybe 7's probably a bit more warranted. I mean, he got a yellow, and I think that's probably why I marked him down half a mark. I think he's being a little bit silly by getting that, to be honest. But yeah, I think the saves he did make, he made 4 nice saves, and I think he did really well with them. So I think we just have to, like you say, give this guy a bit of time just to see how he does.
I'm team Vicario, or team Venom. I think he was called Venom when he was at Empoli. So yeah, I'm up for him. He's shown that he's a decent human being by his, he's taking in of Ukrainians who into his family home. He speaks good English. It's just go back to when he was recruited. Ange was all over him, saying, I talked to him on Zoom in English. I said what I wanted. And he comes recommended by someone called Gianluigi Buffon. Gianluigi Buffon is a goalkeeper and a half. And if he's recommended by Buffon, that's good enough for me.
And I have an Italian friend who said we've got a real kind of a really good keeper there in him. So, you know, I think he only can improve as well. And I think just give him more game time, and yeah, let's see how he does. But all right, let's move on to Emerson Royal. Emerson, I've given him an 8 because of his goal. I think it was probably more of a 7 performance overall, to be honest. But I think I bumped him up a little bit because he got us that second goal and gave us the equaliser. I think, you know, we all saw he was up against Henry quite a lot throughout that match, and I think he was struggling quite a lot. I think Henry was way too quick for him at times. And I think he also could have done better for Brentford's second goal, I think, up against Henry. So, yeah, I think Emerson is one of those ones where he's just improving with every game for me. And, you know, defending, you can always rely on him to be solid. So I think he was just a little bit outpaced, I think, yesterday. But I think a 7, but I bumped him up an 8 for the goal. So.
Yeah, I bumped him up to a 7 because of the goal. I have to say, to those in the comments, this is a joint effort. I was actually at the AGM of the Glasgow Spurs yesterday, and I watched this game in the pub. And my friends Tom and Rory, big shout out to them. They said that you know, they chimed in and probably overmarked me or undermarked me, whatever. So it's a bit of a combined effort this time. But yeah, no, I mean, I did feel that sometimes he slows the attacks down. He likes to be on the ball, and you know, whereas Ange, I think, is looking for the ball to be moved quickly, and he was caught out. He was caught out of possession a few times, particularly in the second half, which was, you know, you don't want to be caught out of possession when you're playing an inverted as an inverted fullback. So, yeah, but it's a solid enough performance. I mean, as I say, I'm looking for 6s, and you know, he's got a 7. So, you know, well done, Emerson. He's, you know, the redemption arc continues, and I loved his little celebration with Bissouma on the sidelines in front of the Spurs fans. That was lovely. So, yeah, good for him.
Yeah, nice one, Emerson. All right, Romero. Oh, Romero, 8. Yeah. Yeah, Romero. What do you? I mean, how annoyed was he? How annoyed was he when he went off? The poor. I mean, he was.
But do you know what? Hats off to Ange. Ange did the right thing.
I agree.
I mean, if you look at his reaction once he sort of stood up after scoring the goal, it was clear he needed to come off the field. And hats off again to Bissouma for signalling to the bench, you know, that the change needs to be made. I mean, it just goes to show what you can do in 11 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever it is, and you can get yourself an 8. But yeah, you know, I love Cristian, and I love the fact that he's been promoted to the leadership team as well. Yeah. That's a really good. I mean, we've got a captain, if you like, in each section of our team now. You know, up front, midfield, and now in our defence. So I'm hoping it'll give him some responsibility. And I do, you know, I can understand why he's angry. He's a very competitive player, as we know.
100%, yeah. But he would not have been happy after that match. I can imagine. Can imagine what went down. But I agree. I think really right call from Ange. I know a lot of fans are probably a bit annoyed about it, but from my perspective, it's the concussion thing. I think they do it in every other sport, rugby, NFL.
It's about time football caught up, Jodi.
Yeah, definitely. It's not worth it. Like,
I mean, I remember that finished Jan Vertonghen, the concussion he had.
Yeah.
You know, and as a player, and I'm, you know, it annoys me that you know, that fans would have said, "Oh no, he should have just carried on." No, absolutely not.
I think it was a disadvantage for us in the fact that he would have probably gone on and had a beast of a game. But I mean, to be honest, you can't take the players' health for granted, and
no, absolutely not.
Them. So, yeah, he got an 8, and can't wait for, hopefully he's healthy and good for Man United. So we'll see what happens, I guess, from that perspective.
Yeah, the protocols might kick in, which, you know, could be difficult, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah, true. We'll see how he's doing midweek. Probably. Mickey van de Ven, another new guy, another new starter. I think definitely a struggle for him. Obviously, the team changed up when Romero had to go off, so I think it probably was a bit of a. I think first game coming in anyway is going to be a bit of a struggle when you've had no time with the team. Pretty much, you've only had a handful of training sessions probably with the team before you even get thrown on to the starting lineup. But then I think for that to change up so soon into the game, probably I think was just unfortunate for him, which maybe rattled him a little bit for that first goal potentially. I think he's thrown in the deep end. I think the second half definitely got better for him, and I think we all saw, like in the second half, what an absolute signing I think we have, and what he's actually going to be for us. So yeah, I've given him a 7, just kind of overarching the match. I think kind of split between first half, second half from my perspective. But yeah, I think definitely he's an amazing player. He's going to be an amazing player for us, and somebody that we've just been crying out for in that back line for so long. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, a very competent performance. Grew into the game. Yeah, he struggled at first in the first half, particularly, and obviously he was, it was his deflection which actually meant that the second goal was conceded.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being out of position too much. He's very rapid, and
He's so
you
fast.
know,
He's so fast.
if you look at the I just kept noting through the game. I was chatting to my friends in the pub, and I said, "Look, my God, when was the last time you saw our centre backs sitting on the centre circle in the opposition half?" Which he's, if in the second half in particular, they were well up, and this is exactly what Ange wants. He wants to play a high line. Obviously, it can get exploited, but I thought, yeah, it's he's worth it so far from what I've seen. 3 training sessions, as you say, Jodi. He's slotted in perfectly.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to see what he has to bring for us this season, and just trying to stop any of those anything from last season, the last few seasons, from happening. I think we've got a real solid, starting point now with Romero and Mickey, but I think obviously, we need to build on top of that. And there's the rumors of our favorite Eric Dyer going around the houses as well. And I think we'll get into Sanchez when we look at him a bit later on. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks as the transfer window kind of comes to a close, to see if there's any more outgoings and incomings from that area. Right, Destiny Udogie, bossing it down the left, I think. Really helping to drive us forward throughout the match. I was just so impressed with this guy. I think just the ball recovery as well, like from him, it's just what we need. I think, yeah, I'm just massively impressed from him, and he had like an absolute monster of a game. It looks like you kind of rated him even higher than me, so I don't know. What do you think? 8.5.
There was one incident in the second half, just outside our box, where he basically monstered 2 Brentford players and won a free kick at the same time. That was a sign of a what I want from my left back.
Yeah.
Or my, and at the same time, he seems to have slotted into the inverted wing fullback. He was a threat going forward. We didn't see him getting any successful crosses because it's very difficult to get round the back of a 5-man defence. But yeah, I mean, he kept the game ticking over. love him, absolutely love him. Thank you, wherever you may be, Fabio Paratici, because this is going to be
He's
our
still
left back.
lurking in the wings, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, someone shared a picture of him today with Spurs fans at the game yesterday. So
Yeah, well, there you go.
he's definitely there, like a
Hanging
bad
on.
penny.
He's hanging on.
Do you know what? I mean, if his ban gets lifted, you can bet your bottom dollar he's back in. You know.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing, Sean. I know he has done some good business for us. I can tell him.
Bentancur.
Yeah.
Bentancur.
But I don't know.
Say no more.
I don't know.
For me, say no more. Bentancur.
100% no. Oh man, I cannot wait for him to come back, honestly. But I mean, we're not as dire in that midfield as we were without him, are we? So it's just going to be even adding so much more when he gets back. So yeah, it's going to be good.
And he brought Vicario as well, so did Fab. So let's I'm quite happy.
I have my reservations about the Fabster, but we'll we'll see what happens. Right. Watch this space.
Yep.
Right, Oliver Skipp. What are we saying about Skipp, Sean? 7.5 and a 6. It was a bit hard to tell where he was, I think, at times. I think he was he sort of playing a bit of a right back role, switching it up with Emerson on occasion.
Well, I think he was having to cover the gap that Emerson kept leaving on the right hand side for certain. I'm hands up. I'm academy bias. So anyone that comes through our academy,
put the disclaimer out, Sean. There's no bias, man.
No. Skipp is fine by me. The guy is so committed to the club. I want players committed to my club. He's so committed to my club. He didn't even take a break after the Europe Under-21 Championships. He went straight on the tour.
Yeah, but he didn't play in the Under-21 Championships for very long, did he? He came off the bench a couple of times.
He still travelled. He still went there. He still was called on, and he trained every day. So as far as I'm concerned, anyone who gives up, he's entitled to take the break, and he didn't. And that to me speaks volumes. I'm sure Ange, if you read Ange's comments on Skipp, he admires that. So I'm not.
He's a hard worker, definitely, 100%. I mean, he is definitely a hard worker. And he got that yellow, picked up the yellow for us. He was not having any of it. I think he was definitely getting stuck in. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like from the midfield perspective, I think he was definitely getting outshone from my perspective.
I mean, let's not have it straight. Yeah, that's. But I'm going to big up my man. Yeah. You know me, and Harry Winks. So,
well, there you go. Right, average performance. Yeah, Juice. I agree. But what you're saying, Sean's a softie, and that's true. You are a big softie, aren't you, Sean?
No, nothing wrong with that. There's too many hard men who
softie for the academy boys. Tango Merchant. Hello. How you doing? Skipp was a hologram most of the game. Well, I'm not going to say much, but I might be in agreement with you there, Tango. Right, let's move to, I think, man of the match from many perspectives. We're both matching there, Sean. 9s for Bissouma. What are you going to say about old Biss?
Shades of Moussa Dembele at his peak. Absolute. Absolute beast of a player. Could turn defence into attack in the blink of an eye. Him and Maddison together were absolutely brilliant. What the hell was Conte doing to this player last season?
Oh, mate.
I mean, anyone who comes back at me and says Conte is a winner and a great coach can go and put their head up where the sun doesn't shine.
The thing is that Conte's not that kind of coach. That he doesn't coach. He has his way, or the highway. Yeah, 100%. And Biss doesn't fit that. I think he's too creative. He likes to, do his own. Have his own freedom to do what he does best, and obviously that doesn't fit with what Conte wants. So, but luckily we have Ange now. So.
I enjoyed 45 minutes of Ange compared to a whole 6 months of Conte last season. So
Yeah, I mean,
Bless him.
definitely. We're all, we were all so excited last season when we got Bissouma through the door. Like every single Spurs fan, I think, was crying out just with joy at the signing. But then, yeah, I guess it just didn't work out under Conte. And yeah, it was sad, really sad to see him not thrive and also not really get played much under Conte because of that really rigid system that he plays. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to seeing what he has to give this season under Ange. Like we've already seen so much of it already in preseason, and I think yesterday's game really showcased just what he's there to do. So such an important player for us. Like just everything comes through him. Um, and yeah, I think it's just easy to see why he picked up man of the match. And I think he's humble as well. Like I don't know if you managed to catch his interview after the game, but the guy, I always forget this guy's name, that Spurs guy.
What, from
Anyway,
Spurs play? Milesy.
yeah, Milesy, that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah. He doesn't. Yeah,
No, to be honest, I haven't seen that, but Bissouma has become a leader in the team. Papa Sarr said that it was,
yeah,
he's helped me integrate. Bissouma has helped him integrate, and we've got a good player in Sarr as well.
yeah.
You
Oh,
see
definitely.
the way. I mean, when he played against Barcelona in the week, he was like that. He was yesterday, and you'd have thought this guy is in the wrong shirt. He would,
Yeah.
I mean, and think about it. We got him for 25 million last year. All right, the market has become completely inflated due to Saudi Arabians, but 105 million for Rice, 150 million for
I can't.
Caicedo.
I can't even. I can't. I can't.
How much is he worth?
I know.
How much is he worth? Absolute diamond. Thank God he plays for Spurs.
Yeah,
And that's
I
another
agree.
Fabio Paratici arrival as well.
Oh, all right, Sean. Sean's a softie for the fab as well,
No,
guys.
no. I think Paratici is a crook, but you have to take your hat off and say the recruitment improved.
Yeah,
The trouble
yeah.
is he was buying from the wrong coach.
Well, true. But yeah, no, 100% love him, and yeah, and I think what I was going to say before was he's so he's saying it as a team effort. It wasn't just him, so he's just so humble as well. So love you, Bissouma. I can't wait to see so much more of you this season. It's going to be amazing. Right, Maddison, our new number 10. What's going on there, Sean? Sorry, were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, thought I
For
interrupted
once.
you there. All right, our new number 10. Any surprises by you for him picking up the 10? I don't think any surprises from anybody
No,
there.
two assists. He was just dominant. I mean, I think once him and Richarlison are in sync, you'll see improvements in Brazil's number 9 as well. I think, it's worth.
I mean, they already
I mean,
looked up a little
again,
bit.
40 million.
Yeah,
40 million,
Good
compared
business. Good
to
bit of business there.
good bit of
30
business,
million if you chuck in your boy.
My friend, Harry is tearing it up for Leicester, so that's good. Yeah, good.
No, I think just such a breath of fresh air, I think, with him in the team. Just that bit of creative outlet that we've been looking for and, needing for so long in that midfield. So just really impressed with what I saw from him yesterday. I think also we found somebody to take our free kick, Sean.
Whoa,
Finally.
that free kick for Romero's goal was just
That was
absolutely
amazing,
brilliant, wasn't it?
right? Yeah. I think, that's, I mean, take out, Harry's goals. We'll pick up a few from those free kicks, I think. You wait and see. I think
Yeah.
that's a few extra goals on the scoreboard where we're trying to now piece together where we're going to get all those goals from. But yeah, I think his corners as well, on point. And yeah, picked up 2 assists. I think he was linking up with Richarlison when he could. I just don't think there was enough of it. And yeah, I think it was a bit quiet kind of from Richie's side, which we'll get into. But yeah.
There was a pass in the first half which was slightly out of sync, but there was a good one in the second half which Richie got his only shot away on target, which the keeper did well to save. So, it's it's early days, and they're having a week between games now to work on their combinations. So good.
Yeah.
More to come.
More to come, 100%. Dejan Kulusevski, 6 and a 6.5. I feel like he seemed to have a lot of the ball, but I don't really recall him doing too much with it. I think he was working, like he works hard, this guy. Like he really does work hard. But I think both him and Son, I think, were struggling. I think with the setup maybe of Brentford. I don't know. I think we just need to see what Ange can do with him. He needs a bit more time, I think, under Ange, just to see sort of how we can unlock that Dejan that we had a couple of seasons ago when he first came in. Yeah, definitely lacking from a finishing perspective, maybe from his side. I don't know.
Yeah, it was alarming, his drop off in goal contributions
Mm,
last season, and again, obviously he's probably adapting to a new system as well, where he's been made to play more left, more on the wing,
yeah,
where
that's
he's an
true.
inverted winger, and that's not Ange's system necessarily. He wants wingers to be able to go inside and outside, and
Mm,
because he's left-footed on the right-hand side, he's more inclined to go inside, But then in his first season, he was putting him in the top corner. He was putting them down at the near post. He was
yeah,
scoring.
yeah,
There was a few shots which were blocked. There was a good combination in the box where he finished up crossing with his right foot, which again was blocked. Very difficult to break down when Brentford go into a low block. They go into a low block, and if you look at their defenders, they're all 6 foot plus.
they're massive, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they
Yeah,
are massive.
yeah, yeah.
So it's a difficult one, and like you, I think our forwards didn't click
Yeah,
yesterday. It's no coincidence that the 2 goals came from further back in the team, but it's early days, and as I said, they'll have a week between games now to work on the combinations, and you know even up here, and obviously Celtic are just down the road from me, so it was
mhm,
I got to see quite a bit of them, and just they struggled against deep blocks up here, Celtic,
mhm.
and so it's going to be something he's going to need, and obviously there's an increase in quality as well. So
Yeah,
give it time, give it time.
yeah.
I Anne strikes me as someone who will
I think,
ruminate and will come up with solutions.
yeah, and I've always given um Kulu this kind of excuse in that he's young. Like I keep saying, young players are unpredictable. Young players are,
Mm,
well, I think Jews, you're saying a bit predictable, but I think, I don't know, there's only so many times you can kind of use that excuse. But I
mm.
guess with a new coach as well, there is a bit of adapting, I think, that needs to be done. So yeah, I think there is talent there, definitely. And I think we just need to see what happens. I think with a lot of the players now, with what we've got, it's like we are in that rebuild now, aren't we? So all these players need to sort of understand how to work together and link up, especially now without Kane in the squad. Like, what's the, it's yeah, it's definitely a lot to sort of to see. It's yeah, not going to happen overnight, unfortunately.
Well, there's a whole culture change we're undergoing at the moment. When you
Yeah,
become used to a sort of mid-low block team to be then transitions team to then suddenly become a possession based team.
yeah,
Lots of
oh
players
yeah, definitely.
struggle with that. So
Yeah, and a new leadership team as well, right?
of
Like we
course,
got
of course, yeah.
players who are now needing to listen to other players and trying to take orders from them. And yeah, it's just
Hmm.
a lot. There's a lot going on, definitely. Right, let's move to Richarlison. What are we saying? A 7 and 6. I thought he was linking up with Maddison at times, but like I said, there wasn't enough of it. But when he did, I think the play was right. Um, I think he was a little bit wasteful as well when he had the ball. I think I remember he headed the ball the wrong way in the second half. I don't know if you saw that or remember that, or if that was just me, but I think he flicked it the wrong way, which I was just like, mate, what are you doing? I don't know, another one we need to give time to, right? Like, he's been playing back up to Kane. He was injured for so long last season. He only scored 1 goal. That's going to eat on your confidence, isn't it? And like, those shoes from Kane are big shoes to fill, and just sort of having that lack of confidence probably from last season, and not having many goals coming into this season, having social media people all on you and stuff. Like, yeah, I think he's got a lot going on. But in saying that, he does need to step up. We do need to be able to start scoring goals from our striker, and he is the guy right now. So yeah, I think we just need to. I think we need to give him a few games. I don't want to give him too long, but I think we need to give him, a handful of games just to see what happens, and then we can't really afford to waste too much time either. So I don't know. What do you think?
This, if anyone desperately needs a goal, even if it was to sort of come off his kneecap or whatever, off his backside, it's Richarlison. I think he's trying too hard, and I think sometimes someone's going to need to sort of like say, look, just take your time, because there was one shot in the second half, which he was obviously trying desperately to keep it on target. It was, and he stopped the ball and then hit it, when really it was a chance. It was one that needed to be hit first time, and little things like that. I do believe him and Maddison did link well outside of the box, but it's going to need to be in the box. That's how the AND system works, and there wasn't much evidence of that yesterday. So, as you say, he needs to step up. He's the main man now. He's got the shirt. He's going to be picked week in, week out, until unless someone else arrives. But he's got his chance now. And do you know what I mean? I love Richarlison. When I think of all the work he's done in his community back home, he's not one of these sort of rabid nutters. He's invested in his community.
He's got a good heart, hasn't he?
He's
like,
got a
from
great
what
heart.
I can tell, I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
You might have he might not, but from what I can see and what I can tell,
he strikes me as someone who's thinks about things, and recognizes the struggles that he's come from, and tries to help out. So as a human being, I really want him to succeed, and let's. I hope he scores next week, and it just it'll lift that weight off his shoulders.
He definitely needs a really good goal. He's been unlucky as well. Like, so many goals have been he's been offside for so many of his goals, hasn't he? And they've just been disallowed. So I think we just need an actual nice proper goal from you, Richie, and let's get that confidence shining through. And also, Gisnat's just saying that Brentford are really well organised at the back, and that's true. And that's we could see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
they were so quick to get back, weren't they? Like, it was insane.
And this is a team, remember, that beat City home and away last season. So they're no mugs.
It's not an easy fixture, Brentford away. I mean, even without Tony.
Remember, in actual fact, it's the same score as last season, and that's after going 2-0 down after the World Cup. So yeah. No, I'm more than happy. I'm begging up the team this week. They need it. Ange needs it.
Yeah, we'll give him some grace this week. Maybe next week we'll be a bit more harsher on them. Finally, Son, my captain, Sonny. 6 and a 6.5. Yeah, not too much to say about Son, is it really? I think silly to kind of pick up the penalty, but then was it was it a pen? I mean, I don't know.
The thing is, once it goes to VAR, it's a penalty. I mean, I do feel that the referee was hoodwinked, and so was VAR, because the guy went down holding the opposite ankle to which Son had connected with. I just think that it's really, really tough on that. I mean, you have to ask, where was the left side of defence? I mean, this is obviously in the first half when Van der Ven and Udogie were just getting used to each other. So it should have been picked up by one of those two. But Son's taking his responsibility as the new captain and went back. So let's I'm just detecting that there's maybe a wee bit less pace in Son. So I think he gets lost on the left wing. So I hope that eventually we'll see him cutting in and curling them into the top corner like we saw in last season against Brighton and what have you. So let's again, he was late. He was late arriving into pre-season.
Yeah.
And I think obviously he's had that operation and what have you. So it's all
best
there's lots of
left as well.
Yeah, his best mates left, and
I think again another one. I think we just need to give time, but not too much time because we all know what happened.
I know. This is we're in a very unforgiving league, Jodi. Very unforgiving league. We could, if we don't pick up points in the next few games, we could find ourselves in that. Remember when they appointed Redknapp 2 points after 8 games.
Yeah, I know.
We need to avoid that sort of scenario.
100%. All right, Son, come on, step up. You got your new role now. Finally, Davinson Sanchez. Normally we don't do subs, but because it was a bit of a, he played 76 minutes. I thought let's whack him in. What are we saying? 7 and an 8. You want to go on Sanchez?
Well played, Davinson Sanchez. Stepped in, no warm up after a few minutes, and was performing shot-stopping tackles from minute 1. I thought he had an excellent game. Yeah. He continued the excellent game he had against Barcelona on the Tuesday.
He played so well against Barcelona.
I would have said I would have been quite happy to see him go. Obviously not to Spartak Moscow or whatever it was rumored. No one deserves to have their football career finished in Russia at the moment. But I would have been quite happy for him to go on and have a good career, say in Spain or something like that. But yeah, he's like Lo Celso,
it's more suited. The style's more suited to him. And he's definitely improved. Like improved a bit. I think I agree. I think it was a really good game overall from him. I think there was that really lovely sliding block. I think that he made was in the second half. I think to deny Risa. I think, I just think out of the the outskirts of the centre backs, I think at the moment he's probably the better of the bunch. If we're going to say that, about any of them,
he's got recovery pace. He's got recovery
he's fast,
pace,
isn't he? Yeah.
Which he's not as rapid as Van der Ven, but he's and we are vulnerable down those what they call the half space behind our fullbacks. You need a bit of pace to play and ball,
Yeah, you do.
And I hope it was he could still go. He could still be sold. He's he's been around a long time.
He's had a bit of interest, hasn't he? I know you mentioned the Russian club, but there's other clubs that have been.
Yeah. So in there. But if he's pulling out performances like yesterday, then I'm happy for him to stay around. And he must, as you say, he's probably if we're ranking off centre backs, it's Romero, Van der Ven, and then Sanchez, I think, and then all the others are a bit of a mismatch, to be honest. So
it's a bit scary, isn't it, to put Sanchez as number 3? But he's a good player. Don't get me. He played well in the last 8 games. Right, let's move on to Crime of the Week. It is Crime of the Week time. For anybody who hasn't seen the show before, Crime of the Week is a segment just based on anything really to do with Spurs that happens in the week of the game week 1, game week 1 that we're in. I think, no real surprises, I don't think, and it's not really game week 1. It's kind of the transfer saga. The nominations were in for this guy. around just the speculation, just the spectacle that went down 2 days before we played Brentford. Selling Harry Kane to Bayern Munich 2 days before our first match. I think I don't know. I don't think there's any other people worthy of getting locked up for crime of the week this week. Sean.
Well, Juice Nuts has entered one. The referee from yesterday's game. I mean, he was dishing out cards like they were confetti in the first half.
But that's the new. I don't know if you watched the Liverpool game yesterday, but similar situation was going on in that game. That's just the new way now.
But in the second half, nothing. And there were Brentford challenges for which we got a yellow card. In the second half, they weren't getting a yellow card.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have this new directive,
well, that's exactly what I said.
It's got to last 90 minutes, not 45 minutes.
And it has to be the same. It has to be the same across the board for every single match and every single team. You can't pick and choose. So yeah, no, I agree. Jules. I did mention that yesterday about how our ref was having a bit of a go, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're going to see a lot more yellows and probably red cards this season. But yeah, I think that, like you say, I think what did we pick up? 5 yellows, 5 or 6 yellows in our squad. I don't know.
I can't remember. I thought it was 4, but it could be. But as to the crime of the week, yes, I mean I'm of the ilk is that a player who cost us nothing deserved to leave for nothing. I know it makes me in a minority, but we have weakened our team.
Yeah,
we have weakened our team, and no amount of money can replace what Harry Kane gave to this squad. There's no amount of money. I'm sorry, it's not my money. It's not my money.
Not your money.
And those who sort of say, "Oh, welcome the £100 million." Where is that £100 million going to go? Is it going to go into the team? Is it going to go into recruitment? Is it going to go into getting the director of football?
According to some people, it's been spent already, Sean. According to some people,
exactly.
So who knows?
We've had 5 Beyonce concerts, WizKid. We've had God knows what else, and the money is not being spent on the team. The man is a thief.
And
worse still, is it going to Uncle Joe's defense fund in New York? I am absolutely sick of this man, and he's clearly an impediment to the success of our football club. And let's remember, there is nothing on that corner of Park Lane and High Road without Tottenham Hotspur. He would have nothing, and he is urinating on the history of a proud football club and on us as the fans, on top of the 20% match day price rises.
100%.
On top, the recruitment, the only decent piece of recruitment has been when he got Ange and got rid of Conte and got, that is the only thing he's hiding behind that now, because I tell you what, I'm going to be giving him dog's abuse on Saturday. Not during the game, half time, before the game, after the game, because that man is killing our football club.
And Sean, I agree with everything you're saying, and it's also the fact that it's just the timing as well. Like, if you're going to get rid of Harry Kane, get rid of him, please, earlier on in the transfer window. I mean, if you're going to do, I'm so surprised that he caved. I actually didn't think he was going to cave to that. I thought he was going to go over 100 mil.
Of course, he's going to cave.
But to then cave that close, for me, to just put our team and our coach and everybody just in that predicament 2 days before we play Brentford, like it's just inexcusable, really.
If Bayern Munich wanted him, they should have rung him up on June the 3rd. They should have rung him up on June the 30th, because it sounds like Charlie had done the deal, and say, if you want him, give us 100 million now. Otherwise, fuck off, right? Because he's really done really done nothing
What
to
about
improve.
what Juice is saying here, Sean, about wait until the transfer window closes and then
No.
no?
This is. There's been 4 years of neglect, Hughes. I'm sorry. He's neglected this team. He's feathered the nest of Enoch, and our football team has deteriorated from the Champions League final. Look at our league positions, scraping into Europe. I mean, we had one season where we got into the Champions League. We didn't, and under Conte, we didn't even take that seriously. I mean, you know, we went out to the first decent team we played. Now, I'm having nothing. This man is a impediment to the good name of Tottenham Hotspur. And I can't wait for him to be gone.
Right, Sean. With that, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of positivity on the show. Say thank you to Harry. This is going to be the last time that we have Harry on Judge Jodi. So what I wanted to do was just give a moment to say thank you, Harry, for the good times.
Absolutely.
Thank you
What
for
a player.
everything you've done. I know you're going to be watching this whilst you're out in Munich. So, you know, whilst you're eating your hot dog or your currywurst or whatever
Yeah.
you're eating. Yeah, thank you from me, from everybody at Paxton Road. Yeah, we're just very. I think everybody will agree that it's a big loss. We're all very sad to see you go. I wish you all the best personally. I think that you've been robbed of trophies here at Spurs for so long. So, you know, hopefully you get to go on and do whatever it is that you will do in Munich, and maybe come back one day. We'll see. But what I also wanted to do, Sean, was just to put up the score. It was my average score of the 23 shows that we've done, and this was my average score for Harry throughout the 23 shows that we've done. He got a 7. There are a lot of 3s in there. I think at the end of the 2021-2022 season. A lot of 3s creeping up in there, so which bumped it down a little bit. But he did have a lot of 9s and 10s. So average score from me is a 7, Harry. Last time I'll be putting a score up for you, and just wanted to say thank you.
Absolutely. What a pleasure to watch this kid develop from academy, our academy, and to become the club's leading goal scorer. I never thought I'd ever see Jimmy Green's record broken. I must admit, I never thought I'd see that broken. My biggest regret is that my dad passed before he got to see Harry become, the colossus that he's become. I wish him and his wife and his family all the success and the best in the world, particularly with the new arrival. Good luck with the German lessons, because he's going to need them. As I saw from the other night, he was trying to protest the penalty that was given against Bayern. He obviously didn't have the words, so he just had his hand over his mouth, probably swearing at him in English. But
he was probably tired. I don't think he slept for like 2 days.
Yeah, I hope. I wish him every success. But personally, if we play Bayern, if we come back to the Champions League,
100%. It's all Spurs.
It's Tottenham all the way. Tottenham all the way.
Of course. No, thank you, Harry. We just wanted to do a little something for you. Right, Sean, I think that's going to do it for today. We have, as you mentioned at the start of the show, we got Man United next Saturday, or this Saturday, isn't it? This coming Saturday. They are playing, probably kicking off right about now. So I think a lot of people probably want to go and watch that game just to see what's going to go down on what we're going to be up against, I guess, on Saturday. Any thoughts at all before we go on that game? See what happens tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do get our backside handed to us on Saturday, but I'm still Team Ange. I'll still be Team Ange, and it's a learning curve, and we need to tighten up the back. That's the priority. You don't lose games if you don't concede goals. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So we need to get the defensive line sorted. As much as we need to get our strikers to
massively.
Yeah.
Massively.
I'll take a point. I'll take the 3 points if they come our way, but I do feel that we will have a setback, and we just have to take it on the chin and move on to the next game after that.
I don't know. I'm not going to call it. I'm going to wait and see what happens tonight and see what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going on with Man U at the moment. I'm intrigued. So I do have 2 of them in my fantasy team, though. I do have Rashford and I've got Bruno in there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Sean, and thank you everybody for being here with us this evening. Had so many of you, all our regulars as always. Jews Nuts, thank you so much, buddy, for being here and joining us. Dino Dinosaur as always. John P, Mark Swift, Tango Merchant.
Tango Merchant.
Who else? Anybody else? There's a few. NRV 5802. Thanks for being here, mate. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Mate. Very Ange.
It's very neat. You go back and rewatch my shows.
Yeah.
You'll probably see. But yes, thanks guys for being here. Anything you want to say, Sean, before we wrap up?
No, just back the team.
And
come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.